let me just stay and complete my tenure and go away. The other alternative to it is that, they have succeeded in putting a very big shock and fear in his heart, because he does not have the House of Assembly to cry to if things are not working out as expected. And the general public who actually stood behind him before, the state of emergency, he had told them that the issue involved is that of father and son. And he has also told the president, I want to thank him for intervening. The president is bothered with national issues, so River State issue should not be the only concern of the president. So at best, he knows that by this he has been caged. The only thing he can do is for him to just sit down and allow the 18 months to pass by. What it implies is that he will just be there as a lame-duck governor, watching things and proceeding go, and all he needs is just to append his signature to that. Because failure to append his signature to their demand and wishes automatically means he's calling for trouble. And whenever there are troubles in the state, he does not have a place to go. As it stands, even the political party that he contested election under, they all left him. So he is more like a political orphan if he disagrees with the House of Assembly, or perhaps his benefactor, the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory.
Would his defection to APC make any difference?
It will not make any difference per se, but at least it may serve as a soft landing for him. Okay? It's like a case of saying, leave him alone. If he defends the APC, they'll say, leave him alone, let him just complete his tenure and go. He may enjoy the sympathy of the party when he moves. But when it comes to making critical decisions about the state and the project, of course, he will not be able to do anything because, as it stands, his hands are caged. And now, let me also say this to you. Members of River State House of Assembly have not been paid for a long time. So the resources of the state will take care of that. You may just see that the budget that was passed by the National Assembly with respect to River State may not even be used for the development of the state, because there's a lot of debt to be paid. We are paying members of the House of Assembly for close to 2 years. For that money, then which money will you now spend for infrastructure in developing River State? This is actually the one chance that people were shouting about. But all the same, let's watch as political analysts and see how it turns out. But the day will come to when you put a call across to me and say, this thing you have said has come to pass. That's the truth.
Okay, this is the one time that I hope you're wrong. But like you said, let us watch. It's important that you are a part of this conversation. The numbers call are 0817 923 0002. 0817 923 0003. WhatsApp is 080 903 0646. My question is, do you believe River State will truly return to normal political life once the emergency rule ends on September 18? Was the emergency rule a necessary step to calm River State or an abuse of federal power? Remember to please turn off your radio as you call. It is very important. Thank God that Webu on WhatsApp says, greetings Sam, the manner in which the reconciliation between FCT Minister and Governor Fubara took place is not a solid reconciliation. I see more crisis because the reconciliation is half reconciliation. The governor will not come back with his supporters, and someone is telling me that reconciliation has taken place. Thank God, Atuebu says. Cookie Gam from Mile 3. Hello, Cookie Gam. Good evening.
Sam, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Sam, I want to join myself with our guests.
Okay.
So I remember in March, when the message was declared, they asked God on weekend, do you know about this? I don't know. Lie. If he says no. But the speech now, the speech today and yesterday, this week now, it's like it's the person that is not that the client is not imagine the River State, like it's not that did it by himself. There is the Nigerian president now. So you see what happened in River State a border that happened in where like the west, like the Lagos, Ogun, or those things that happen in that place. That can happen in that place. It's like they say that everybody is tied, our hands and legs are tied in River State and put in a prison. Nobody can talk. When I woke up from sleep, if I woke up for Rivers State. Our man was last year. Am I Rivers man? No, but I'm not taking my state again. Myself has been captured by one man. I treated the governor for sincere speaking. A young man that I love, a young dynamic man that I love, a young man of integrity that have what the Rivers State. But now his hands are tied down. Well, let him come and sit down, take his salary, and go for 2 years. But posterity will judge. Basically, will judge. Speak to our so I don't bother. They let him come and sit down, take salaries and pay salaries and do it and go bed.
Cookie Gam.
One day. No king rules forever.
Cookie Gam. Hold on. Can you hear me? Hello?
I'm hearing.
Okay, so to the first statement you made, the FCT minister claiming he didn't know, and now his speech, of course, confirming that he now knows. But what if he didn't know at the time, but with time that has passed, he has now learnt about it? No, I mean that possibility.
Leave it.
Okay.
Leave it.
Okay. Somebody could mention something to me, and at the time, I say, I didn't really know about it. But I will go back home and, do some research. Maybe, just maybe. Joseph calls from Eleme. I've lost that call. Chima from GRA. Hello.
Good afternoon, Mr. Sam.
Good afternoon, Chima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sam. Mr. Sam, the question you asked, I think for me, it might be very difficult because if you look at the appointments that have been made by the illegal sole administrator, you don't expect governor to work with such kind of person when he came on board or when he comes on board. I mean, a certain appointment that he made recently happened to be one man who came publicly was calling a certain appointment that he made recently happened to be one man who came publicly was calling governor, Mumu governor. So you don't expect governor to work such kind of robbery that took place just last week, Saturday. So you don't expect all these things that people of Rivers State will just put their hands. The matter is in court. All we are urging is for the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to do the needful. This matter is there with them. It's close to 5 months. And they have refused to hear even a matter that is experienced as this very matter that is before them, for them to determine the powers of the president. That is all we are hoping for. We are not hoping for anything that has been done, the illegality that is currently going on in Rivers State. That is not our hope, because we know that nothing will come out of it. I told us here that somebody sat right at the comfort of his house and picks people. You understand? Share the local government to himself, and he expects people to vote their hands. Look, Sam, if anybody thinks that people of God are going to vote their hands, the person might be living on his delusion. So what happened on Saturday and all the appointments that have been made, look, I tell you, Sam, we are yet to face the battle. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mufasa calls from NTA Road. Hello, Mufasa. Good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity once again. Good evening to your guests. Sam, there is no game saying that the emergency rule, the declaration of the suspension of government, and the subsequent imposition of the sole administrator is for political gains and state capture. If you could still remember, they boasted before in the past that they were going to pin the APC flag in Rivers State Government House. And from the look of things, they are about actualizing that which they boasted of. Now, like your guest has said, if the governor comes back, certainly there is nothing he's coming back to. Because the first thing the sole administrator did when he came to Rivers State was to dismantle the structure of the government, suspend running contracts, sack all the officers, and a lot of things he did that, truncated all that the governor has painstakingly arranged for the benefit of Rivers people. So you don't expect the governor to come back and now begin to start from square zero. And it is very, very pathetic and unfortunate. So for me, I don't know how to describe the situation that would arise when the governor comes back, but I know that the governor will come back. I guess said something that if the governor decides to act differently from what was agreed on, that it will be outright impeachment. I want to ask your guest, because I know that the old budget and all of that has been overtaken by events. Are they still going to manufacture what has passed? Or they will just come up with a story and begin to, commence impeachment proceedings against the governor? So I want your guests to please respond to that.
Okay. Dr. Isaac, I don't know how, but there's a question for you.
I just have one simple response to him. Do politicians really forgive?
Well, he's no longer on the line.
Do we have genuine reconciliation when politicians quarrel? Do we have genuine reconciliation? So if that question can be answered by him, then my take is this: to be very blunt, there is nothing there. Things will just remain the way they are, as I've just said. Like I told you, this is just my prediction. Let's hope it will change. But for now, these are likely options.
Yeah, but
because there are a lot of things to chum up. When the government returns, first of all, the first attack is going to get is, why are their remuneration not paid? Remember, these people have been away from job for close to 2 years. So in paying them the money, he has to pay. He has no option than to pay. And in paying that money too, he cannot tell you about the state finance that the money is not coming as expected. That becomes an impeachable offense. You have to pay them. Now, there are so many bills, they need to go through training because some of them have actually forgotten the art of legislation. Going away from your job for 2 years will mean returning back for a
Come on, doctor. So, that's not... Hold on. You are a historian, right? There are lots of things that I know that you are. If I take you away from your job for a while, if and when you come back, you will be able to hit the ground running. If I don't do radio for at least 1 year, I should be able to still present now. So they just suddenly forgot the business of legislation. Meanwhile,
can I remind you that there was a time, even this period, before the state of emergency was declared, they said we were going to the UK for training.
For training, yes, I remember.
What was the training for?
It's the same way that I go for seminars and workshop every time. It doesn't mean that I have forgotten. It's just it's a refresher. It's a
So I'll leave that side of the argument. Let's face the real facts. The truth of the matter is that these ones have been away. Their personal economy has actually gone down over time. So there's a need to boost it. Remember too, this period they are coming back, they are preparing for another election. If you don't understand, 2026 is very close. And it is a known fact in Nigerian history that the year before the election year, usually nothing happens in government. So how are they going to recoup the resources with which to contest the next election?
Well, I completely understand, but aligning with Mufasa's line of thought rather, you have to pin something on the governor if you're going to impeach him, right? Regardless of the grudge that existed before state of emergency. And
did you hear the question I asked? The question I asked is that do politicians actually forgive themselves?
Yes, but you need to call a dog a bad name before you kill it now. Even in the process of killing the dog for reasons that are not justified, you must call it a name first. That is how it goes. Now, you can't just kill the dog before calling it the name.
Let me give you a scenario.
Okay.
As soon as the governor comes back, he is supposed to appoint members of his cabinet for the State Executive Council.
Okay.
The list of the commissioners that will work with the governor between now and that period, we have to pass through the House of Assembly. And like what happened in Benue State the other day, you have to torchlight it and say this person was not in our camp while we were fighting for the struggle. We don't want him here. The governor has no option than to accede to their consent. And if he's acceding to their consent, what it invariably means is that they will be the one who hand the commissioner and give to him. And say, this is the person we want here for now. So they will handpick the commissioner and give to him. The SSG will also be given to him. So why is it there as a governor?
The point is, while I understand what you're saying, you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt that the offense is impeachable.
The members of River State Legislative House, what do you call them? Those that work in their secretariat have not been paid their dues for a long time. Okay? So, now, talking about asking questions. In fact, there are so many grounds to even impeach him. For example, when you now begin to ask, what is the progress of the project that the governor has undertaken before he was sent on emergency, like the construction of this Unity Road, which one? The one that has plenty bridges now in River State. That one is at a stalemate. That contract has to be rewarded.
The ring road.
The ring road. If he tells you now that Julius Vega is what I want and the people don't want Julius Vega, what happens?
Okay, well, let's hope it doesn't get there. Like you and I have clearly established, this is speculative, but we're drawing clearer pictures than the speculation. It's almost like we're preempting. But it's all good. I'll be taking more calls shortly, but there are messages waiting to be taken. Bernard from Port Hackett says, good day. The FCT minister should realize that we are not his children. Eyes are watching what is playing out. He has gotten what he so much wanted, which is the structure at the local level. And the governor can now return like someone who is remote controlled, right? Allegedly, it means he knew from the onset that the governor will only return after he takes back his structure. I so much love it that the governor did not take part in the foul play called election. Posterity will judge everyone, Bernard says. Okay. And Sam, please remind the FCC minister he has not appointed commissioners and chief of staff. How can the government resume? Ima says, well, it takes just a moment. If they have gotten what they want, of course. Okay, I don't know what you're responding to. Sam, the state of emergency declared in River State was purely the FCT minister's plan. It was hacked when Wike could not get the Chief Justice of the state to his side in order to impeach the governor. Now that the FCT minister has got what he wanted, he can reinstate Fubara to pose a figurehead while he reigns over the state. Everything was orchestrated by the minister. I hope he can rest now. John from Port Hackett. You know what? Let me read the question again so that you know what you're responding to. Do you believe River State will return to normal political life once the emergency rule ends on September 18? That's the first question. And was the rule a necessary step to calm the state or an abuse of federal power? Those are the questions. Since our civil rights is election, question is, what is the civil rights of our leaders? It's bad governance, poor power supply, bad network, insecurity, poor medical attention, poor education, and high cost of commodities in the market. I think our leaders have taken us for a fool. Even in the animal farm, the lower animals still have to eat. What we are asking for, just when the right hand washing the left hand hand refuse to wash back. Our leaders are now above the law. People who make laws and also break the law. Leadership style is like a rat race government. Onyenuche Stephen says. Let's go back to the phone line. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. WhatsApp is 080-903-06-416. Please turn off your radio as you call. It's very important. I'll be speaking to Chima shortly. I think the best thing to do is for Sim to resign as the state cannot return to its glory. Budu from Port Hackett. All right, I have Chima. Good evening, Chima.
Hello, Mr. Arako.
Good evening. Good evening.
Yeah, Mr. Arako, let me bring something to your notice based on the question that you asked.
All right.
Do you know the suspected governor did not vote in this election? Not even him and his auntie voted. Now, the former governor, my leader here, Wike, didn't vote in the other election. Well, how do you just oppose this thing now? Because if he didn't vote, which means he didn't support the election. Now, the question that you ask now, are you sure we are going to have tranquility in River State? I have always been in the side of that. I do not trust the governor's peace, whatever thing that he is coming with. Because maybe because he is out of power. Otherwise, this election should be one of the most important things in his life. As long as it is a product of the peace that he has been governing for. You understand what I'm talking about, Mr. Arako? Now, in the aspect of the River State, APC and PDP, whatever can it be, Mr. Arako, what about that devote so many discussion in this your studio? As it starts now, APC is the one governing River State from the federal. That is why anything they have to do against the administrator, it will be direct on the president. So the aspect of maybe capture or whatever, I do not understand. This is US in Fubara has led us to. And now the woman is being for his election, and that election to be tied to him. Because to me, since I discovered that he didn't come to that election, not only him, all his cohorts, all of them,
Okay.
I don't believe so.
So, Jima, I'm not speaking for the governor, and I have to put out that disclaimer. But there are lots of people, lots of reasons why a person might not vote in an election. Doesn't mean that they are for or against it. Secondly, the governor is suspended. So, what if he tells you that in view of his suspension, he decided not to come out and vote? How would you respond to that?
He's supposed to come and vote because he is a suspended governor, and what is happening now, it is because of him it is happening, and he has said that he has settled, that he's okay with what is happening. He has also thanked the president for the suspension and told the people that he does not have problem again.
No, Chima, I get the point you're making, but I'm saying that the fact that he did not vote doesn't prove anything. It doesn't mean or not mean. It doesn't show that he's for or against the election. It just means that he was not there.
Constitutionally, it doesn't mean anything. But what I'm making say, morally, inwardly, it means something. He wants to come and fight because if he comes to fight them, they will say, well, you voted. You supported it initially. That's why he did not come to vote. So
Yeah, but the governor was not put in office based on morals. It's the Constitution, of course, if we want to agree, right?
To the Constitution. You understand? He was a despot. That was immorality.
All right, Chima.
So what I understand is that if you are thinking that we will have peace in River State, then we are all looking at the face of Sam Fubara. Because let's remember for my brother here Wike, he has done it already on the 89 comeback. But what the man is planning, that one we don't know.
Thank you very much, Chima. Let's try to squeeze in one or two calls as we wrap up. Daniel from Ahoda. Hello, Daniel. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Can you speak up, please?
The discussion we have on air now is very, very important and necessary.
Okay.
I know very well that the governor coming back, he may not have free hand to operate as a governor. So he is going to be careful in his dealings. And the people ahead of him who brought him in have decided to take the power back. This is very bad. Politics is interest, and people that are in politics are very, very difficult to do their thing. What is happening in River State is very, very wrong, but God is going to see them through. That is my input. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much. I have just a few minutes left on the clock. Dr. Waduno, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here with you, yes. Can I say something to you as passing shot?
Yes, please.
First and foremost, when the governor returns, he cannot prove the administration, the sole administrator.
That's literally the next... That's what I was going to ask you. I honestly wanted to ask you that question.
Yes. So he cannot probe it because once he does that, he would have incurred the wrath of the paymaster who are involved there. That's number one. So the account of River State for the period that the sole administrator was here will be dormant. Nobody is going to dig into that, except maybe in the nearest future, God will bring somebody to dig into that.
Sorry, hold on, Doctor. When you say paymaster, in this context, who do you mean? Because the administrator was appointed by the president. So are you talking the FCT minister or the president? Who is the paymaster in that context?
The appointment came from Abuja, but the administrator would have been a friend to the FCT minister before he is appointed. After all, why didn't they appoint me in my house to come and chair that position?
Oh, that's speculative. We can't prove that.
Okay, anyway, but they've been friends, even when he was the governor of River State.
Okay.
So that's the perspective to it. What the local government election has actually done, and in returning the governor, is that it will now pave way for his successor. So outrightly, he will see the person that is being projected by the party as, the next governor of River State, and he will be dumb. He will not be able to speak anything. The reason is that he knows that his days are numbered. There's no provision for him to come back and recontest for a second time. And then the person those of them who are actually standing by the side, hoping to take over that position, are waiting. Actually, a lot has been done in the state. This is just a legitimate way of kicking off or starting the process, of choosing the next governor of River State. That's exactly what the entire process has actually demonstrated.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Waduno. It's been quite the conversation.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Have yourself a wonderful day, sir. Yeah.
Good evening, Rivers people. Thank you.
All right, you heard the guest, and you heard you. You were a part of the conversation as well. I guess the only option on the table is to wait. My goodness, what an option. 5 o'clock brings the news update. After that, we talk about the elections, the local government election of Saturday. Stay with us.
The show continues after this break on Nigeria.